Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nasuha Anis binti Muhammad Nizam and my metric number is S55980. So today I will continue my individual assignment 1 for ACT 3501 Accounting Information System for the Ashton Fleming case. For question B, I will prepare a level 0 data flow diagram of SNS accounts payable. So what is data flow diagram? So a data flow diagram is a graphical description of the flow of data within an organization, including data sources, destinations, data flows, transformation process, and data storage. Okay, so now we will start the data flow diagram using the Ashton Fleming case. So for the first one, for the 1.0 record payable. Okay, so based on the case, the purchase order that forwarded from purchasing stored in a purchase order file. So based on the case, the first one we will create the data process for 1.0 record payable. This data process is a transformation process, is an activity or group of the activities that takes one or more inputs, transforms, and add the value to them, and it provides output for the customers or client. So here we will make it as 1.0 record payable. And then the data source. Okay, the data source is for the vendor. So data source and destinations is the people and the organizations that send the data to and receive data from the system, which are represented by the square boxes. So this is the square boxes for the vendor. And then we will connect the data source to the record payable using this data flow. Okay. So this is the invoice. Which is the vendor sends the invoice data to the record payable. We will create the data store. So the data store is the storage of data, which is represented by the two horizontal lines. So this data store is the accounts payable. So we will connect the record payable using the data flow from record payable to the accounts payable. The second data store is for vendor invoices. And then we will connect the record payable to vendor invoices using this data flow. And then for the second one, is to collect and store the purchase orders and receiving report. So for the 2.0, we will create the data process here. So this is 2.0, collect and store purchase orders in receiving report. And then we will create the data source here for the purchasing department. This is for purchasing, which they send the data from purchasing department, which they send the purchase order to the 2.0 data process. This is the purchase order. And then the receiving department that also send the receiving report to the 2.0, which is receiving here. The receiving report to here. They send the receiving report. And then from here, and then we will create the data store for purchase orders. And then another data store here, data store for receiving report. And then SNS pays all accounts within 10 days to take advantage of early payment discounts. When it is time to pay a bill, the accounts payable clerk retrieves the vendor invoice. They attach the purchase order in the receiving report and forwards the matched documents to Ashton Fleming. Ashton reviews the documents to ensure they are complete, prepares a two-part check, forwards all the documents to Susan, and records the check in the cash disbursement journal. And then from here, we make the data process for 3.0 make payment. So this is the 3.0 make payment. And then we can see here, as we can see here, the accounts payable make payment to the accounts payable, and then the vendor invoices also make payment. The purchase order also make payment, and from the receiving report also to the make payment 3.0. And then we will create the data store for the cash disbursement journal. Cash disbursements journal. And then this is, we will connect this to and then we will create the data store. We will create the data store for pay invoices here. And then we will connect from 3.0 make payment, which is the data process, to pay invoices data store. And then we will create one for data source for, okay, so here for the vendor department. So we will connect this make payment to the vendor using this data flow. So this is the payment and remittance advice. Payment and remittance advice. Okay, and then based on the case, Susan reviews the documents to ensure that they are valid payables and signs the checks, and then she forwards the check to the vendor and returns the documents and the check copy to the accounts payable clerk, and then the clerk files the documents alphabetically in a pay invoice file. At the end of every month, the accounts payable clerk uses the accounts payable ledger to prepare an accounts payable report that is forwarded to Susan. After she is finished with the report, Susan files it chronologically. And then for the last one, for the data process 4.0, so we will create the data process this is 4.0 prepare management reports. Management report. So we will connect from accounts payable. Let's send the data to the management to make the management report here. And then the last one, we will create the data source for management department here, the last one. And then we will connect the management report to the management department. We send the accounts payable report. So this is the data flow diagram of S&S accounts payable. That's all from me. Thank you.